Welcome back. Please hit the subscribe button, like button. I'd certainly appreciate it, and it'll help me see what type of content that does better and concentrate on that and trying to make them seasonable to the best of my ability with what's going on. Today, I want to talk a little bit about prepping a new area for planting. Several different ways to do it. I choose to do a no-till method. I think it's better for soil health. It's a little more work. Could be a little slightly more costly. Unless you have to go buy a tiller and do all that, then there's more cost there. But you already have it, it's probably easier. And you gotta be patient doing it this method, right? So I cover the ground with a tarp, plastic, and then wait. So in this video, I'm gonna show you some clips and did a test between two different methods underneath the plastic, one with cardboard, one with alfalfa hay, and then uncovering them and seeing what was there. And then we'll go on to what I did with them to prep them for some fall planting. One's a really small area, like 8 by 10. It's kind of a test bed I have to try different lettuces or different things to see if I like them or not, to use them again in the future. So I hope you enjoy. I hope this is helpful. As well as tarp off a new area that I had set up for construction here. So I will tarp that off. So I'm gonna do a quick experiment on this section, this last bed area right in front. I'm gonna go ahead and put down alfalfa straw to cover with the tarp. I'm gonna add a small section in here. I'm gonna cover it with cardboard. I'll use these two areas for our stuff I put in May. So I still have many months ahead of me to let it break down and see how it does. So we can kind of see what it looks like when I pull the tarps off of it using cardboard versus alfalfa hay. Well, I didn't have as much cardboard as I thought I had, but I'm gonna do this, about half of this will be covered in cardboard, the other half will not. Give me a pretty good comparison as well compared to the bed I did earlier with alfalfa hay. So we'll see how it turns out when I take this stuff off in May. This area, I'm gonna put some fall greens in. I did about half of this, had cardboard underneath at the time. I kind of ran out of cardboard. I'm gonna do one other area and see if I can get in on that. Be just to the left of the lavender, right there, that I did with alfalfa hay underneath it. And I wanted to kind of uncover them, use the plastic somewhere else, but see what the difference was with the ground prep between using alfalfa or the cardboard. Well, March to August, the cardboard still did not break down all the way. The thing I want to take notice of is how moist it is. And we have not had rain, significant rain, in close to a month. A couple little showers. But how well that withheld the ground moisture. And one of the thoughts of using plastic has always been, I'm not getting any water. The water that does arrive or is there doesn't evaporate. There's no plants taking it up. There's nothing to use it. So that's kind of a promising sign. Now I'll move on to the one that had alfalfa. So the area that I just had hay underneath of it broke down pretty well. Some of the dead grass stuff I was killing out of there as well. But again, noticed how much moisture still left underneath that without any rain. So that's pretty cool. So a lot of that talk, how bad it dries the ground out. Hadn't been the case for me. Maybe in different climates it would be. But it's still proven to be the best way for me to prep new ground for future plantings. Just have to be patient. So the area I uncovered earlier with the cardboard, done a little bit of prep to it. It's alfalfa cubes, peat moss, and a little bit of mushroom compost. And I'll add more when I go to plant. What I'll do is I'll leave this all week,
let the dew, and if we get any rain, kind of break down the cubes a little bit, and I'll rake it around, I'll form rows, and I'll put row covers on it and get it planted. This is the other bed that I uncovered this morning and did the same process to it. And again, I'll let it set all week. I did have some pellets to put in here as well. Local Tractor Supply had 1 bag of each left, so I grabbed both of them. I'll have to hunt for some this week. You might be wondering why I didn't plant there. I have more lavender coming, and I want to keep it kind of all in the same area. And I'll be doing cuttings and growing that lavender out quite a bit, actually. So that's the reason for the skip. Kind of want the lavender kind of in the middle of the garden eventually. This is where I moved some of that plastic to from earlier. This I'm preparing for strawberries. This is all part of the late summer, early fall prep for fall crops and for crops for next year, starting here at the end of August.
So let's summarize, wrap this up. This plastic covering a silage tarp, which I haven't spent the money on a great big silage tarp. It seems to be the Walmart big box store plastic rolls. First season, they work, absolutely. Is it the only way to prep new ground? Absolutely not. Kind of comes down to what you're willing to do, what effort you're willing to put into it. I have areas that I might try a different method with, kind of record that. Getting ready to do a bunch this weekend. It's a 4-day weekend for me, so I'm gonna mark off, it's probably another 800 square feet of garden space that'll be for next year. Start getting it prepped. Is it easy way to do it? Absolutely. It's not real labor intensive. The hardest thing you're gonna have is keeping the plastic down. Sandbags is something I'm gonna try a little more this year than using the bricks and whatever I can find. But overall, I think it's one of the easiest methods. If you have some patience, if you're thinking about doing a garden next year, like planting next April, the next couple of months is the time to do that. Why the weeds are still growing, actually. Try to get them dead before they go dormant for the year. So thank you. Again, please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate the support.